because your product is technically is your baby.
Yeah.
It's going to eventually
represents you.
Right. It's going to eventually become a part of your life. So you want to make sure that presentation is on point. And if you feel like you can't do it by yourself, again, hire somebody. Welcome back to Hella Melanated. Today's episode, I'm excited. It's about Black business, Black entrepreneurship, Black entrepreneurs, and we are actually going to be talking about entrepreneurs in the month of February, all month of February. So we're just going to jumpstart and kind of do like a little intro just to talk about our experiences with Black businesses, myths, statistics, and yeah, we're just gonna have a good time and just talk to you guys. Right. So like she said, all of this, you know, it's just kind of like what we know, what we want to know more of. So, you know, if we get a little technical in this conversation, it's because we only want the best for Black entrepreneurship and the Black community these days. So like she said, let's get into it. So I'm gonna let you go first because I think mine is going to be kind of helpful in wrapping all this thing up.
Okay, so I looked up a few statistics. The route that I went, I looked up generational, based on generation. And just talking about millennials, there's not any comparison to like baby boomers. But African Americans, millennials with small businesses, make up 22%, which doubles the 12% of millennials with small business with the general population. So we basically are on the charts. We're number one when it comes to generational wise of being millennials starting businesses, Black businesses, which is great to see. I also have one about us lovely women. Okay. Black women make up 21% of all women-owned businesses, which makes us the second non-minority group. However, earnings average by $24,000 per firm versus the 142,900 among other women based on the 2020 statistics. So although we are the number one when it comes to, the second non-minority group, we are still not making as much as our other peers, our other female entrepreneurships that are non-minority. So
right. Which makes sense. Like the first statistic, as far as like millennials and the growth of the amount of businesses. I mean, just look how much we've skyrocketed within the past like 2-3 years. A lot of people are starting more businesses. They're starting more like ventures and hobbies that they've been starting. We're starting one. Hello, Melanated. So you know, like a lot of people are taking chances. So I'm really here and there for that. But it doesn't help that all these people are starting these ventures, but they don't have the support, whether it's financially, whether it's from the community, whether it's, you know, from other businesses. So that kind of leads into like the statistic I found. So mine is actually from 2017, but that's still very, very relevant and very recent. So I was reading this article, and it basically gives a breakdown of the circulation of the dollar. Okay. So in 2017, a dollar spends 28 days circulating in the Asian community. It spends 19 days in the Jewish community, 17 days in the white community, but only 6 hours in the Black community.
We spend
No. We spending all right, but it's not
going back.
It's not going back to us.
We spend, but it's not going back.
Exactly. And so I was like, okay, so what's the problem here? So I went digging a little bit more. And this quote actually came from the NAACP. This was from the Economic Program Analyst. Of 2017. She said,
was it .org? Are they .org?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is legit.
This is legit when it's .org.
So her statistics was .org, but she was a part of an article, right? And so she says that African Americans have the buying power of $1.1 trillion. That was in 2017, but only 2 cents per dollar is being spent and going back into the Black community. 2 cents, y'all. Like 2 pennies. Only 2 pennies of a whole dollar is going back into black communities. So I'm just like, you know, we got to get into why we're not putting that money back in. Why is it not circulating? Why is it not being profitable? What's the problem? Okay, and I think that just leads into all these myths.
Right, it's myths. Because, you know, we get one thing, we going to run with it. Once we find out one thing, we are running with it.
I know. Okay, you got your friend. She be like, hey, girl, I tried this, blah, 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 blah. Like, you should go try it. And then you got the other friend that be like, girl, I tried them and they was whack. And so then it just stops right there instead of, like, figuring out what was your experience compared to your friend's experience. And I think that's the one thing that, you know, we tend to do is not go and support and get our own experiences. And so then you end up losing out because now you're just taking the experience of that person. They could have just been starting their business. They could have had a bad day. Like, you know, that was some of the things that was coming up as far as the myths was concerned. So we're going to get into these myths. Okay. So the top 5 myths that people say the reason they don't support or go and buy from black businesses. Poor customer service.
That's
was number 1.
You know, that's my heart. Customer service.
Lack of variety, as in there aren't a lot of variety of businesses that black people are doing. It's usually hair, food, or some type of clothing line. But it stops right there. Then there's poor presentation. So how you present yourself.
Quality.
A lot of people say it's too expensive. And
that's my number 1.
And then the last one is they feel like black businesses are hiding their identity when they're creating their businesses.
We have to.
Okay. So let's just get into the first 5 because I got some more, but let's get into the first 5. Poor customer service.
Poor customer service. See, communication, of course. Communication is huge. And I also think with customer service, the time period it takes to receive something. I include that in the whole customer service as well.
Like when they're delivering?
Okay. I think that's really what breaks. If you say, okay, I make this order. And it's taking 3 weeks and you're in state, you know what I'm saying? And it's taking 3 weeks for something that should already be ready in your inventory. I think that is probably like customer service is like, it's weak there.
And I also think that poor customer service for black businesses comes from the lack of experience. When you try to jump into something so fast, everybody's like, oh, I want to start this business, I want to get into it, but you don't spend the time doing your I'm not saying everybody. Let's get that first out the way. This is not pertaining to everybody. This is just something that comes up a lot when we talk about black businesses. So poor customer service, I think it's about execution. So taking your time to research, taking your time to not launch your business so fast. Don't think about it as income, because it is income, but think about it as a passion. I think when you change the value that you put in your business, it changes the type of customer service that you provide.
See, because the way I'm thinking is your passion should be the reason why you started it.
Exactly.
So your customer service of wanting to be able to service somebody in your brand should just come naturally.
But for some people though,
I'm like, how then you hire somebody to handle your customer service. If you know
to that point though.
If you know that, hey, I'm good, I got the operations, I know how to start a business, but I'm not that people person or able to know how to converse with others, let me find somebody. Partner up with someone, because you can't do it by yourself. And I've seen a lot of black businesses
try to do it by themselves.
Do it all. And it's not, and you can't. No business is ran by itself.
Not from what I know. No prosperous business, successful business is ran by itself. They got a staff. You go on there, you look at directory. Somebody is on that list.
And then support. Support. I think sometimes black businesses don't get support. And was that one of your notes?
It's not on the top 5.
Okay.
But it is something that comes
support
up.
And family. People quick to say, "Girl, I don't know about that one.
Right?
You sure you want to do that? That's a lot of work."
But I feel like any business had to start from somewhere.
Exactly.
And if you feel that you have enough courage to go ahead and start working on that business, it shouldn't matter what nobody else said. Yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
Right?
Go for it.
I think poor customer service is just it has to start with the reasoning behind what you're doing, and I feel like that team that you think that you're going to need or eventually going to need, that comes with research. Yeah. Researching, what does it take for me to run this business? Do I have the skills to do so? And if not, finding the people that help support run that.
Right.
So that's poor customer service. So although poor customer service seems to be a myth or maybe true, think about why that person has poor customer service. And you might be the person that has to end up reaching out to them like, hey,
tell them.
Your customer service was a little rough. Here's what you can do better.
Yeah. When you're leaving reviews, I mean, even if you don't want to, out them like that on a review, you can always instant message and inbox. And as business owners, you should be checking those messages and not get offended. You should just know that is a room for improvement.
Yep, an opportunity for improvement. Okay, so the lack of variety. So what do you think about that? Lack of variety. I'm going to say this again. So lack of variety, when I looked it up, it says that they only see black people doing things related to hair, food, or fashion. Now I could say, I don't know, they didn't give me a date for when these were considered the top 5. They were just the top 5. Right. But I could definitely say lately, in the past year, I've seen people try to do skincare. I've seen people try to do, beauty tools. I see a lot of people doing, what is it? I've seen like the satin hoodies and toboggans. So we're broadening our scope now. Right. But the only problem is, when you broaden your scope, we want to see those things become longevity in the long term. Right. So I think they're talking long term. We get stuck in food places. No lie, y'all keep doing black people food because I like black people food.
Come on now.
That's a prosperous. If you cook, you're gonna be good. Now. Okay.
But the messier look on the inside, I know that food gonna hit. I know it gonna hit. If it been looking there like it's been there for like 40 years, I know it's gonna hit.
So I mean, in terms of like whether we have a lot of variety, I mean, as long as you can do it well and execute it, I'm okay with not having a bunch of
very generic myth. But I think there's a reason why you see us only in this little corner, in this little box, and you don't see tech companies, engineer companies, construction companies. We weren't given the chance. I feel like there are a lot of race has to do with it. I think race and opportunity again has a lot to do with it, and also some people could think, starting a shirt line is a lot quicker than starting tech or, starting an app, because that maybe not be their avenue, but it's just quicker to make money because we always look at
Right. And I think when it comes to opportunity, it's not on my list, but one of the things that a lot of people were talking about was the economics of starting a business. So if you want to see more people doing construction or tech, or recently I heard about the black pharmacist in downtown Durham, like he runs his own pharmacy. The guy who runs
Charlotte too.
The guy who runs his own a gas station. So think about the bigger opportunities that they have. Well, that money got to come from somewhere, and if you're not giving money, then now you got to turn around and either save up for years or reach out to banks. And we all know that it's very hard for a black person to receive a loan from a bank, depending on what your credit score is, what you go in there proposing. It takes a little bit more work. So I feel like, yes, although that's a myth, there's a reason behind it. Yeah. Because it's a lot more work to go and do something on a larger scale.
Exactly.
I'm not saying you can't do it.
Nope.
Go ahead and attempt to do it. But just know that that's where some of the discrepancies are when it comes to us being in a little box. But some people just know what they're good at, and then if you good at that,
and I think we're good at doing hair.
Right.
We're pioneers of the hair.
Okay. Some food,
fashion. Come on now, we've been on that.
Yeah.
We've been on that.
Yeah.
So we stay in areas that we know that we are very good in.
Exactly.
And make billions of dollars in too.
Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with that. So that one I was a little iffy on, but I did still feel like it needed to be addressed.
It's hard. Tech. I mean, there are the stipulations and the requirements needed that a lot of black people just don't have. Yeah. Like you said, money. Education. There's always those rules and those laws that they try to implement and to keep a certain group, in it. To keep
I feel like away. Even if that is the case, still go out there. Even if you feel like you're too old for school or you don't want to go for that long, start getting them certificates, y'all.
Go ahead. Them certificates still work. I mean, plenty of people getting paid.
There's some value to those things. Even if it's a small amount, it's still showing that you attempted to better yourselves. And that was something we talked about last episode. Better yourself this year. Come on now, mentally. Okay. Poor presentation. So I'm not gonna say that's a myth. I'm gonna say that's kind of like a good 30% of why. Too. That's a good 30% of why sometimes I'm hesitant. How you present your business. So whether it's the graphics that you choose, if it's the name, it's how you bag your products, it's your shipping stuff. It's like, what does the product look like when I get it? You know.
Am I too picky to say, like, I don't like some of the cameras people be using for their advertisement too?
What you mean cameras? What you mean?
I don't really like when people use their like cameras and they turn on their flash. It's not like a professional picture when they show stuff. And it's
the products. Are you talking about the products?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Don't get me wrong. Everybody started somewhere. Because when I first started making videos, they weren't crystal clear. I mean, but I knew what I wanted to do. And so I invested in what I needed to invest in.
Marketing is when it comes to presentation, marketing is everything. So you know that there's out of your budget, a huge percentage of your money should be going towards marketing.
Right.
And marketing is easier than ever because we have social media, and that's free. Even on Instagram, when you do decide to want to advertise, you can specify your target audience by race, age, demographics, all of that. So there's really no reason why we should still be struggling with the product.
The presentation.
And stuff be cheap. I know Alibaba, boy. You can get it. You can get it.
I also think there's so many resources out there now that help with you understanding what marketing is. They have people out there who YouTube videos even tell you like how to be better at marketing. There's like articles you can read, little classes you can take. So just invest in making sure that you can present your product, because your product is technically it's your baby. It's gonna eventually
represents you.
Right. It's gonna eventually become a part of your life. So you want to make sure that presentation is on point. And if you feel like you can't do it by yourself, again, hire somebody. If you are willing to invest money in the product, be willing to also invest money.
Befriend people, networking.
Okay, network. You know, you got that friend down there that started a business and doing pretty good. Ask them what they did. If you got a friend that's in graphic design, if you got a friend that's in marketing, if you got a friend that took some classes and want to share some advice, just anything that you can get to better yourself and your business always helps. Exactly. Because I've had a few instances where presentation just won't hit, and I was just like, this has messed up my whole experience.
Did you wait long for it? Did you wait a long time to get there?
No. Like some of these things is just like, because I visit pop-up shops sometimes. I'll go, like when there was festivals, I would go. When I am trying to look at other people, like friends with businesses and stuff, like it's just sometimes whether it's communication, like the way you presenting your business to me, like I need you to know, like, what's your background, what's your product about. If I ask you a question, can you answer it? And if you can't, then you need to do a little bit more research, because what if I'm allergic to something? Or what if I'm sensitive to something? So you just don't want to be doing something because you want to know as much as possible.
And people can tell.
Yep.
Customers can definitely tell if you're just doing this for the dollar or if you're really passionate about it. It shows in the details.
Definitely agree. So that was presentation. Make sure your presentation is on point. So too expensive. I used to, when I first started looking at black businesses, I used to say, that's too expensive. I said, Lord, when I can go right down the street and get blah, 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 blah. But when I started doing my research and understanding why it was expensive, my mindset changed. But before I get into that, what is your take on the too expensive?
I'm cheap by nature.
Okay.
I'm cheap by nature. So regardless if it's Target or if it's independent clothing line or black clothing line. Now I will say when it's on sale.
Okay.
Come on. I'll jump on it because you're at the price that I would buy it for. Okay. When you're trying to clear that inventory, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. This guy on Facebook, he was advertising and making shirts, different neighborhoods in Durham. And I was like, $9.95. Let me get 3 of them things. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't mind paying $10 for a shirt.
Right.
That, represent, what I'm saying, has a good message on it.
Right.
And it's $10. Yeah, I'll take that. Let's go ahead. I'll get 3.
Yeah, that's the same thing with me. The God is Dope brand. Their shirts are $9.99. Sometimes they're $14.99. Or sometimes they got buy one get one free, or they have their sales where they're like, okay, well, we'll give you this one shirt right just to get rid of inventory. They'll be like, okay, well, this shirt right here is free. You just got to pay shipping. That's to get rid of inventory and bring in other so little tricks like that, I'm all down for.
All down for it.
But like, for instance, there was something I wanted to buy from one company. Like, they get you. So you marketing gets you. And it was like, oh, this is this. And they had a little picture in there. And I click and I said, I'm going to go to the website. And it was just like a simple old hoodie, right? And the hoodie was $89.99.
Ain't no way.
And I was like, do I want to pay that? And so what I ended up doing was, I was like, okay, so there's got to be a reason why people is making their prices so high. And one of the things was I realized when you are a small business, you're not getting your products at the same price as like a bigger business.
Right.
Like, you're not getting the bulk of like sweatshirts for a deal. You're not getting, your products at a lower price, or you're not buying like, 200 or 3,000 of the items. You're getting like 15 to kind of compensate for what you can handle. And so when you have to buy a smaller amount, or when you have to buy a certain product, it's more expensive for you as a small business because you don't really have a name. You got to start from somewhere. And then I realized, well, they got to make a profit. They got to make a profit from that.
Was it embroidered?
The sweatshirt?
Yeah.
No. Now, if it was embroidered and somebody grandma mama sold some,
you know what I'm saying? I want to see that stitch. I need to see that stitch in there.
I get you. Now, had it said like it was made out of something from some animal with this kind of moisturizer in it. But
give me, animal cruelty free. You know what I'm saying? Eco-friendly.
And when I finish with it, it'd be biodegradable. But I'm just saying it wasn't. And so I was like, okay. So right away I was like, no, I'm not buying it. Or when I go on the site and I'm like, oh, this is nice. Let me see what other inventory they have. And it's just like 5 other products. And then I'm just like, well, I don't really have a selection. But then again, they have to start somewhere.
They do.
And I think that's why price is very scary to us.
Start at 30 though. You know what I'm saying?
I feel
Work your way up.
You should understand economics when you start a business.
Yeah.
What is what you're selling? What is the price going for what you're selling?
Yeah. Budgeting is everything. Don't think, 80, and I'm just using this as an example, but $89.99 because I know that shirt's worth that.
Right.
You need to calculate how much you spent, what your profit's going to be. You want to include the shipping in there too, everything like that. And I don't think some people do that.
I don't think some people do that either. I feel like sometimes it's kind of like, well, I think this is a good price for it, and that's great, but let's compare it to other people that are out there selling it. Or if you're going to use that price, like we said, please give a description why it's worth me paying that price.
Exactly.
If you just got it up there, purple hoodie, with 2 drawstrings and size fits everybody, well, I can go to the store, or I can go to another friend who's making sweatshirts and they selling it for like $30, $40, and I'd have saved myself 50% off yours, so just be smart about that. Not saying that you have to devalue yourself or make your prices low.
Don't. Yeah. I have a story.
Right.
I have a story about that. My friend, his cousin had a sweatshirt line that he actually customized and, did. And one of the rappers wore it, like a famous rapper wore it, and that right there, the sweatshirt in itself was $65.
Okay.
And I could see why. Okay, now you would want to
price it.
You price it at $65 because you're doing it, your hand doing the artwork on the sweatshirt, and then you also had a celebrity rep too. So I could see why now that is going.
And
for
then
$65.
that also means that your market and your audience is about to change.
Exactly.
So then I'll be like, okay, yeah, this sweatshirt right here gonna be a good $500.
Exactly.
But you have to get to that point first before you start saying out the jump, hey, I'm selling these pair of socks right here. They suede, going to give me $150. I mean, is there a Gucci label on it? Louis Vuitton?
Can they make me fly?
We still want to make y'all laugh and be joking about it. But seriously, y'all, you got to think about why you pricing the thing that you are about to sell, and is somebody gonna buy it? Not just go talk to your brother and be like, yo, would you buy this for $150? No, I think something else is a part of research that I learned about. know how to do yourself some Q&As, get you some feedback, get you some what are they called? What are the groups called? Oh my God. It's like test groups. What are they? It's like you get a group of people, right? And you say, hey, I want to get a few of you to try my product. And then you don't charge them anything. It's just so that you can get feedback to say, I like this, I didn't like that. So you're getting qualitative data about your product. Okay? So a lot of people don't even think about that.
They don't know it. They don't know about it. Look at
they don't need to hold a course.
Come on.
Let me hold a course real quick. But y'all gotta understand who your target audience is and what they want.
Yeah. That's the hardest part, target audience.
Okay.
Because if you ask somebody, you need to know what your product is and your target audience.
Yeah. Because you could be selling something that's meant for 30 to 40-year-olds, but you're trying to sell it to 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds, and they looking at you like, I don't want that.
I don't want that.
Or you get maybe 1% of them buying your stuff when really your target audience is somewhere else.
Exactly.
So just it's expensive. Anyway.
Have fun with it.
Yeah, we're not trying to make starting a business bad or anything. We're just trying to tell you as consumers and what we have experienced trying to support.
I expect the best.
Yeah, we're not gonna hold y'all down here when everybody else is up here. Yeah. No, let's hold you to the same standard. So that way, when you become prosperous or when you get to the successful point and you reach milestones, you feel proud about the progress that you went through.
Exactly.
So the other one is hiding your ethnicity so that you can maintain success for your business.
Come on now, we've been doing that since the beginning of time.
But
we've been doing that.
I know, and that's why it's on the list. But it's like, why do that?
Ooh. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of successful brands out there that have done it.
Or there are a lot of successful brands that don't recognize the individual and their ethnicity for supporting. There's this Netflix show, series or movie or whatever, and it talks about hip hop and fashion of hip hop, but it talks about the people who originated the fashion of hip hop, and they didn't get recognized until us as black people started saying no, they need their credibility.
Right.
So like there was this guy who was taking like different logos.
Oh, so you're saying like somebody will start something and it kind of gets taken away.
It gets taken away.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant I don't want people to know I'm a black owner, so I'm going to make sure.
But that's the thing. That's what they're talking about. So like the guy, for example, he was kind of taking prints. Let's say he took a Louis Vuitton print and put it on like a tire cover that you would have on the back of a Jeep, or he would put it and do like the Pimp My Ride. He would do
I've heard about this story. Yeah.
Or he would make like little suits. Y'all know like the Coogee shirts and all that. He would make little patterns and stuff like that. But he was doing it. Although he was not he didn't have the copyrights to like Louis Vuitton logo. Okay. He was making the outfits. But Louis Vuitton turned around after they caught him and said, hey, like you infringement and all that stuff. They turned around and started making similar outfits. But it was his original idea. Right. So, y'all should go check. I forgot the name of it. But anyway, when I find I'm putting it down in the link below. But anyway, I feel like we shouldn't have to hide who we are. I think if you do the things that we talked about before we got to this myth, you shouldn't have to hide. If you are presenting your proposal to start your business, if you're presenting your business as a business, if you have the mindset that this is going to be successful, you have all your ducks in a row.
Right.
I'm sure that
you wouldn't want to hide.
You wouldn't want to hide because you're confident in what you're doing.
You wouldn't want to hide.
And then you got people coming to support you because you are now acting and accordingly. Like, I am a business owner, and so I'm going to act like one.
Right.
You know, so I feel like also hiding yourself, you take away from, again, who your target audience is. Let's say I'm an individual that only supports black-owned businesses. I don't care how good or bad they are. I'm only supporting black-owned. If I don't know that you're black-owned, well, now you're missing out on people who are willing to support.
Exactly.
You're missing out on people who are willing to fund black-owned business. Y'all don't get now. We talked about economics. You know, some funding out there. Now,
them grants.
Okay.
You ain't gonna pay them that. You ain't gonna pay them that. That's free money.
So I mean, I can see why they did it back in the day, but times are changing.
Exactly.
Even if there's still like some smaller underlying like issues that we still face.
Yeah, but I think that's slowly going.
Slowly going.
Now I understand privacy though. If you're, I think if you, but again, it's a scale, because what if you're a private person, but you have a passion of running a business, but you really don't want to show your face, then maybe you can find another face that looks just similar to you, a black woman that can represent as your.
I'm trying to. I'm gonna make sure I put that. I make sure that I put that Netflix series in there, because it was a black lady in there who did that. She started a clothing line. She said, "I do not want someone to shut my clothing line down because I am a black woman." So she let a black man step up and run her business, although she was the main person behind.
Wow, she
made the face. She made it a face.
Why.
So I mean, I'm just saying, because men have more power than women. So she was like, I would rather keep my business going, running it, boom, bam, but I don't want to be out there in the forefront, and then they try to shut me down or don't last as long. So I'm gonna make sure y'all get it.
I'm gonna watch that.
And it was completely about hip hop. It was completely about hip hop, hip hop culture, fashion. So just think about it. Think about it, and if you stand firmly behind your business and what you're trying to do, then do that and stand strong in it, because then there's no opportunity for someone to tear you down, knock you down. You just move on to the next person, the next business opportunity, or whatever.
Because you're a warrior, you're strong. Because business money is not for the weak.
So those were the top 5. But let's get into these little small lingering ones. We kind of already addressed the lack of professionalism. Just make sure you own your P's and Q's. Treat the business like you out there already a multimillionaire.
Yes.
And, now don't get cocky. But we just saying, treat your, act accordingly.
Yeah.
The one thing that I don't be too comfortable. Okay. And when I say that, let me say this right here. I don't like when I go somewhere and because a black person sees me as a black person, you automatically have to change yourself up or start acting a certain way, or you talk to me and assume that I'm going maybe you start cussing, or maybe you start talking about the hood, or maybe you start, I don't know, but don't be too comfortable, because you never know what position that individual may hold.
I don't like that. I won't buy. I won't. If you try to talk to me, I want you to act professional, as if I was a WP.
Right. Even some people, when they try to talk you down on a price, or when they're trying to hustle talk you, don't, if that's what you're used to and that's how you're comfortable doing it, try to make sure you work on adding the business aspect to it. Because don't get me wrong, it's some hustlers out there that's doing good and their business is running well, but you want to be able to be versatile. Okay, not everybody is going to be accepting of that hustle mentality, or accepting of I started from the bottom, the ground up from my bootstraps, and now I'm working to not everybody is going to be open to that. So you want to make sure you can switch it up. Everybody always joke everybody got that work voice. And everybody at home code switching. Please code switch for businesses.
Code switch for your business.
Please code switch for your business.
I want you to pull on your actor hat. Do you hear me? I want you to Oscar Award winning performance.
Right.
Because you're going to see that Oscar Award winning money. Okay?
And it helps. I swear it helps you a lot. Especially when you're in positions where you're trying to ask for something, when you're trying to beat the odds of being the black person that needs to do this and has to do that. You put yourself in a different position, because now you're acting accordingly, using their language. Okay, I'm not trying to tell y'all to change. I'm trying to tell you, help you be better so you can beat the code. Okay, just let's code switch for the businesses this year. Just try it one time and see how your customers react. You never know.
Exactly.
Not enough.
I'm saying exactly a lot today.
I mean,
exactly.
Hey, not enough awareness. Not enough awareness.
What do you mean by that?
So a lot of people aren't aware of the black businesses that are even in their own hometown. You agree or disagree?
Lack of awareness for black businesses. We live in a prominently black community, to me, although there is, gentrification going on, but still I feel like we are well represented in this community where my mom lives and where I grew up. But I think there is, just because maybe some businesses don't have the knowledge or the funds to be able to advertise to the masses. Right. So I think that might be, and you got some possibly businesses that have been running for 40 something years and still owned by baby boomers, and they're maybe not that tech savvy to know how to advertise or market their business. So from that standpoint, I don't know. I see Black businesses all the time on my timeline. So I think that is a myth. I think that.
But that's the timeline. What if you're not somebody that's into social media?
Then newspaper. I don't know. I think people still put ads in the newspaper.
Put the flyers out like they used to do.
Could there be more? Of course. We could always use more exposure. So that we could always use more. I think it needs to be equivalent.
Okay.
I see it personally on my end because I look for it. And, well,
that's what I'm saying. Like people that aren't looking for it, like where do they go to find the awareness if they're not looking for it? It's kind of like, you can drive down the street and see a Target or Walmart, or you can see a City Trends or Ross, or but you can't, if they don't have a shop, you can't see the person that's just starting or whatever. Exactly. So I think that's what they mean by lack of awareness, is you're not aware of people who are just starting out if you're not on social media, or if they're not spreading the word. Like, I started my page for photography, but I wasn't about to pay Facebook for ads because I wasn't that pressed. I was just like, let me tell all the people that I know who are aware that I do it. They'll start following the page, and then they can recommend or not recommend. But that was just something I chose to personally do. So even if you feel like you have a lack of awareness, invest in making yourself and putting yourself out there. Be confident enough in your business.
And it's fearful. It's scary. Don't get me. It's the most scary. It's literally jumping off.
Let me tell you something. It's so hard. It's scary to hit that final submit publish button when because you like, it's gonna work, it's not gonna work, are people gonna respond, they're not gonna respond. We go through it too. We just started this page, and we didn't think we was gonna get as many followers as we got on Instagram.
I was ecstatic when we got it. I was like, okay, 10.
We have a small yes. Okay. And then it was like 20. And then now we have 40. And so, it takes time. But just take the step. And then what you can do is, if you feel like you're not noticing many changes, try something different. Try a different platform. Try a different avenue. Pay for those ads. Maybe you only pay like $2 for ads instead of $25.
Start small. It's baby steps. I think we get, there's this, I think there's like this hormone where we can already get the satisfaction of success. And that can kind of like satisfy our thought of, be complacent. We can end up being complacent because we already are fantasizing about being the millionaire, and we forget about the baby steps that it does take in order for us to be able to achieve what we really want. Because that goal is long. That goal is for the long haul. Because there are plenty of things with businesses is that you have to be willing to change, compromise, and those can be sometimes difficult for people like us.
It's also about trial and error. And man, that costs money where we ain't got, Nothing's worse than trying something, giving your all, and it's not working out, but it doesn't mean give up. It just means you need to rework your plan. Maybe it means you need to bring on some teammates. Maybe it means you need to reach out and get some more knowledge. But it doesn't mean give up, like you're saying. It means just, do the best that you can do with what you have, and then try to grow from it. And that's what we're trying to do. So anyway, we'll talk y'all heads off of those. So next month, February. Everybody know February is Black History Month. Okay, power to the people. Power to the people. We the people. Because guess what? Come on. VP, we see you, girl. I see you. We see you. Good. You know what I'm saying? So Black History Month, as well as Valentine's Day, is in February. It's just a lot going on. So anyway, we decided we was going to take them two things and mash them together. So we got some goodies coming up. We got us some special guests coming on. You might know somebody. You might see a business you want to invest in. We're going to tell y'all who it is. You know, because we're advertising. But we are so excited to have these people on. We are so excited for you guys to see what other content there may be, other people's point of views. So we're definitely excited. All right, so get your cups ready, get your friends, get ready to sit down and watch the video because we're gonna be here for it. So thank y'all so much again for tuning in every Thursday when we post a video. Thank you for following us, supporting us, and we're gonna try and do everything that we can to keep being the best that we can be, bringing y'all good content and being better for ourselves this year. So that is it for this episode.
And we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Black, yo, 'cause I'm black and I'm black. Yo, I'm black and I'm black, yo, and I'm